Welcome again to another Positive News podcast with me, Director Dish, Quincy, the Cockney Prince, actor Peterson James,
Hi,
and comedian Patrick Monahan. Hello. Right, guys, loads to talk about. Let's start off with Los Angeles. Do you guys know people out in Los Angeles? How are they doing with the fires?
yes, Jeannie Asheray and her people, she filmed the aftermath of crying. Ever seen Gina cry?
No, really?
Have you seen Gina cry?
Only.
I've seen her upset after she's got a Jonglers money eventually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I like a lot of us reached out to her. She's a fellow comedian, you know, what I mean, performing that. So, but she's all right because she's got a place in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And she was
What, second place?
She's got about 10 houses. I remember in London she used to have about 10.
Yeah, do you know what? I like I said, like, it's anyone's property being destroyed, but then I think the empathy left when she was like, the next footage was she was in a private jet with her dogs going to Canada. The dog was in the private jet. That's when like, Gina's gone to the other side. She's gone to the other side. There's culturally a dog on private jet.
I know.
Gina, wagwan.
I'd love to see that though. Can you imagine, you know, when there's the fight and they go, right, quickly run in and grab a couple of bags and she's just sending the dog in. Like, Lassie, go on, get dog coming back up with his
Patrick, you
gold
got pals, mates out there in Los Angeles?
Only Arnold Schwarzenegger, Demi Moore, Bruce Willis. These are the, Mel Gibson. These are the only people I know.
All the ones that have been sacrificed.
Yeah, exactly. All the ones
in that cult.
Have you checked up on them? Are they right? Peter,
Yeah, they seem to be good. I mean, they never message me back.
Do you know what's really weird? It's like, any tragedy is not a good tragedy, yeah? But it's very hard to feel sorry for people when they say, one of my houses.
Exactly. Yeah.
Not my house. One of my houses.
Yes.
But we have to remember there are normal people.
No,
involved
they
as well.
are normal people, but
no, not them. Not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but there are normal people.
Yeah, but they're not in LA. All the normal people are out. But it was, but exactly what Quincy said, where it's so funny, where, look, we would feel sorry for them, but they're all like, I was listening to it on the news, they went, we haven't been back there for 3 months, luckily we weren't in the house. I'm like, where have you been for 3 months? Can you imagine if I went, Quincy, have you been, I've been home for 3 months. Like, what, are you sleeping in your car?
There you go, you know what I mean? I kind of opened the door because the deceased letters piling up.
No, exactly. It was ridiculous.
Peter, any people you know out there safe? And...
I do know that there are a few people out there, but I haven't contacted them, so I don't know.
Caring.
Closed in now, you're closed in yet?
Yeah. I do know they've been trying to ring you, going, help me bring water, and Peter's like, oh, no, I spoke to them.
So much for equity.
Yeah, I know. Look at it.
Well, the beauty of it is you're finding out all of this Gina stuff, I'm sure, on TikTok, right? So TikTok, as you know, is being banned, or in the process of being banned in America, not here.
Really?
Yeah. It's because obviously.
What, is he trying to grow his account?
That's what I mean. Yeah. He's clearly clocked on like 5 years too late.
He's like, just give me another 6 months. I need to build my content.
Let me get some more viral clips. Yeah. So
really?
Do you know what's really ironic? Like, so TikTok just said like, I'm not having it. We're just going to bounce.
Yeah,
and I think the government have really just seen there's a demographic just said we're not having it, and all of them have actually gone over to the actual Chinese.
So the Chinese application is called Red Note. Do you guys know about this?
No.
I only found out after it was banned.
What? So Red Note is their equivalent of TikTok?
So if you go onto it, which you can, I'm sure, in America, that won't get banned. So people will. What America is saying is they're worried about Americans being spied on by Chinese, but they're going on to a Chinese thing now.
But
it's actually got, when you sign on, you're literally, the only thing you don't give away is your DNA.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have to learn Mandarin and also Cantonese.
Yeah,
you're gonna be,
they're literally just selling this on.
270 days, only Americans speaking Mandarin. They go, this band worked well.
So, another band that's coming in is the DEI ban, diversity, equity, and inclusion ban. They're not big on that because Trump's not big on wokeness. So is there any good news to be coming out of diversity? Not
We
coming
might see a white football coach. That'd be good to look at on the Discovery Channel. Oh, there's a white football coach.
There's a white guy that can play basketball.
Yeah, basketball. Slam dunk in the lot.
They're all 5'8". What is going on?
What the weather? So I mean, like the Trump's main guy, Pete Hegseth, is not a fan of women in the army. He's going to ban that. That's one diversity. Do you think that's a bad thing and that's a good thing for ladies not being in the army?
Probably a lot of women. It's probably difficult, isn't it? Because without being sexist, a lot of women wouldn't want to wear the same uniform. So you'd never get into battle, would you? You'd be like, come on, everyone put your uniform on. She's like, I'm not wearing that. Sharon's wearing that. All right, jeez. What was it about diversity and inclusion?
Before this podcast gets cancelled for being, we need to get some more. We need to get more female.
Where are the women on this
comedians
panel?
on this panel.
I'm a strong believer in women in the army. Women I don't like.
Yeah. Could you? I would be terrified. All of Quincy's exes or people that he hates. Could you imagine?
There's a couple of snitches I can nominate to be in the front line.
Can you imagine? Putin would be just ringing up Quincy, going, "Listen, I've got these women after me. You know all about them. Tell us how we can finish them off."
Gosh, right. So that's obviously one thing to look forward to. All right, get into some serious stuff. Quincy, you're talking about Dubai. That latest, the rest saga still happening.
I actually had a conversation with his lawyer this week, which is going to be.
Yes. So tell us about it, lovely listeners, about the story again. So it's a young man.
It was a young man who went away on holiday with his mum and dad, his family, and while he was away, he met a young lady who was from a similar area. They both hit it off, and they had a holiday romance, which is words don't really hear with 18 and 17-year-olds. I remember the last time I went on an 18-13 holiday and the word holiday romance comes up in it.
Did you have when you were 17, 18, did you have a holiday romance? Have you ever had? You must have.
Peter must have had some.
Peter, look at
that.
He's never in one place.
I think. Pete's a dark horse, mate. He's a dark horse. He's sitting there with those smiles.
He just come back from Dubai. And when was your earliest holiday romance?
It's like you're in the UK, so you won't get in trouble.
I don't honestly remember.
Really?
That long ago?
What?
Yeah, well, I'm old.
Do you know what it is? I reckon Pete's is probably a dignitary. You don't want to get the person in trouble.
Exactly. He's panicking.
Moving swiftly on. So
I don't look at it. I got Quincy didn't even tell us.
Quincy's
Quincy's like me. I was about 12 years old in the caravan. What about you, Quincy? It wasn't even my idea. She was 38. I was like, what's going on? What about you?
Holiday romances. All I can say to you.
South Wales.
All I can say to you, when I go for immigration and they ask you those questions, what's your purpose for your visit? And I look at them like, really? Come on, player.
Come on.
I'm 20 years old with these.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, they give a lot of pictures. Going, did you date any of these? Because they're all in the army now. Are these any of yours?
Is going back to the original story, is it good news?
So he's currently he's handed himself in. He handed himself in, which is very non-black. But
and she was from London as well.
She was from London, from the same area. And what made it even worse? The mum waited until she came back to the UK and done a long distance call, which you probably can connect, call connect. Oh. Do you accept the charges?
Yeah. £600.
Not only she had a grasp, but she's tight.
Yeah.
And she called up the Dubai authorities, and the authorities arrested him. Which there was so much violations in that. One of the main violations is, remember the days of what happens abroad stays abroad?
Yeah, of course.
She broke that rule.
Hang on, so you've just been from Dubai, because this is interesting what you've just said, because it brings. Did you find it like that? In Dubai, it's quite strict, or?
No, it all seemed. No, not at all. It just seemed quite relaxed.
Essex.
Out there.
It's like Essex, but hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like going on holiday to a shopping mall.
Yeah,
Like
Essex by the
where
desert.
Pete was, he wouldn't have met.
You wouldn't have seen it.
Pat, but you've been out in Dubai. What do you think of it? What's it
Yeah, I mean, exactly like both what the lad said. I agree with both of them. I mean, as there is certain parts of it, but it is just very commercialised out there. And we've done the gigs out there.
Yeah,
haven't
we've done
Do you
gigs out
remember
there.
the
I was just technically, I didn't even know about that law.
Yeah.
I would have been in prison a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know?
I'm surprised he's still here, Quincy.
Yeah, thank God that the Russians have been banned.
Exactly.
It's not. It's a fun place to be. It
is. It's lovely,
Yeah.
but the only problem is they don't have any health and safety out there. It's proper bonkers. I remember doing that safari. They call it a safari. Do you remember on the daytime they go, "Do you want to go on the safari?" And so you're thinking, "Oh, we're going to go and see animals." You don't. You go in the desert in a jeep. A couple of you in the back, and they drive over the cliffs, don't they? They just slide down there.
I refused to go in there.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you're from East London. We could do that in Hackney.
There you go,
It's just
yeah.
like in the jeep.
So
I'm
why would I do
north
that,
east,
yeah.
exactly. Go around Newcastle or
Do
Middlesbrough.
that
And
South End,
stolen
mate.
jeep. Yeah, exactly.
Do that in South End, mate.
sounds like a good place to be. But obviously, well, fingers crossed for this young man. And
Well, the update is that a pardon has been is implemented. I can tell you. So hopefully that he will not do the full time, and like we say, free Marcus Fakana.
Is he still out there being held?
Yeah, he's in jail. He's in jail. He was in solitary confinement for a while.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
So how long were they going to give him?
Huh?
How long were they going to give him then?
Originally, they was saying 20 years.
20 years? He probably
20
wouldn't,
years.
He wouldn't have lasted in a relationship
cut
for
this
20
out.
years.
Yeah,
What,
yeah,
then?
that's what I'm saying.
He's 17, 18. You're not going to...
20 years.
3 years if he was lucky. What are you putting in 20 years for?
Yeah, if I got 20 years for having a laugh.
It's good. It's good news. Good news. All right, fingers crossed for the young man. Dubai chocolate.
Nom, nom.
Do you guys know what Dubai chocolate is? Anyone?
Yeah,
see
that's
this?
the reason why he's doing 20 years.
Yeah. Very good.
Very good. Very good. So
I'm here every day.
Here he is.
Dubai chocolate is
Here he is.
a luxurious blend of pistachio, kanafa, and chocolate, and is being sold for ludicrous amounts. Have anyone tried it? Have you guys?
Can we afford
No,
it?
no, I didn't, because I don't like pistachio. So
Really? You don't like pistachio? How did you survive in Dubai? It's all pistachio and everything. Rice, there's pistachio, there's dessert, is it, with lamb, there's pistachio. It's like, really?
So it's going for a shocking amount of money, and a German court has decided that people outside are making too much money out of this, and you can only make it if it's you can only call it Dubai chocolate if it comes from Dubai. So that's strange food. But what strange foods have you guys had? What's the strangest food you've ever had, Quince?
Next!
Quincy just probably eat everything. I remember, where was it? Western. I think me and Quincy did a gig in Western Supermare, and I'm sure.
Is that some sexual reference now?
You can't stop him from
Is that a
eating.
sexual reference?
Yeah, exactly.
Food-wise, Quincy. Food-wise, what?
Food is food, mate. When you're hungry, you're hungry.
Yeah. It's like, when you say, do you eat in bed? He's like, that means a different thing to him. He's like,
I've had kangaroo. So that was an Australian bird.
What was that like?
It was chewy.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah.
But not like I'm a celebrity, get me out.
Yeah, not like the kangaroo balls.
It was cooked. It was like, and what they do, right? Because I wasn't told it was kangaroo. I went out with a friend of mine, and she eats all those exotic stuff. You know what I mean? The alligator. Like,
Nom 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 nom.
I get, why would you eat?
what would you order? But anyway, she said, "Did you also see?" It was presented to me as a steak.
Yeah. Ah, so they just go.
Yeah.
But
I was eating it and I was chewing it.
I wouldn't eat. I've never eaten steak.
Really?
Yeah.
Never eaten steak.
You've never
Never
eaten
eaten
steak?
steak.
not a meat eater.
No, not really. I've had chicken, but I wouldn't eat meat.
What are you talking
red
about?
meat.
You've never eaten
never eaten steak.
But then you box.
Yeah, but I wouldn't. You
But
could
that's
do
part
that
of
with
boxer's
protein.
diet. It's a good old steak.
Oh, no, not unless you're doing like super heavyweight. It's like it's not. No, I wouldn't have. It's just.
That's amazing. I've never thought that if I ever at least had a steak.
Do you remember David Hay?
Apart from
He
Dracula.
went vegan. Do you remember?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
And it's
That was
so
for
it's-
Instagram. That's what you lost, didn't it?
Yeah.
You lost after that. You lost to Tony Benyu.
They threw a cabbage at him. Knocked him out. It's like, oh my god, tofu everywhere. I'm getting slipping up.
His
Peter's strangest-
ring walk was daffodils.
Yeah.
give you a day fever.
Peter, strangest food you've ever had?
No.
You've travelled the world. You must
Chicken,
have had all sorts.
chicken, fish, cod. Is
yeah,
that the
really?
Do you know what?
I don't think I've had anything.
Come on, Pete, nothing dairy. You're an
I
actor, you've
know.
travelled, mate.
Come on.
Peter comes
Well, I
across as
might
like
have
a
not
chef.
known.
How easy is it to get work out in Dubai? Do you need special permits? Is that a thing?
No, well, it was all sorted by my management, so yeah. So I don't know.
I think if we all went like, as a tourist, you could go as a tourist, but then you couldn't work. But we, obviously, because we're going out there to work, that's the difference, isn't it? You have to do like a work visa or whatever, or entertainment visa. And I love that when you go around different parts of the world, like the Middle East or wherever you go, they haven't got a clue what it is. They go, entertainer, what, comic? And you go, and they go, comic. Go, oh, you draw. No, what?
Stanley.
So true.
Comic.
They like look at you like we don't Sandy. You know, entertainment. What kind of entertainment? Okay, got you.
He's a snake charmer. Come on. Yeah.
So speaking of people out of jobs, there's a nice,
Where do we start with that one?
a nice
I know.
a nice MP Bangladeshi connection here, who I have filmed in the past. Tulip Siddiqui is out of work. She was the lady in charge of corruption, but unfortunately she's been found of being corrupt.
Well,
we'll see how that goes.
I don't know if did you all see it
She
today?
resigned, did she resign?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this morning. She
resigned
but
this morning.
But I saw it this morning on the video. You know when they do the videos and it was like one of these news videos, like, and it literally in 2 minutes, they're brilliant. It sums up the whole thing, and it was literally like a map of. Do you remember them like Dad's Army? Do you remember like back in the old days?
Yeah.
And it was literally like that. And I remember just watching it in bed. At, like she resigned at 6 a.m. or whatever, and it was like it went. Tulip resigned because her auntie had a house here, but then across there she sold her house there, but it wasn't her house. She gifted her house in West London, but she lent it to her sister from North London. Her auntie had one in South London who gave it to her and got. And it was just arrows going everywhere. And I went, why would you even? It's like the Pink Panther. Why would you? You are kidding. Yeah. And the arrow just went.
Well, she was nice to us when we filmed her last.
She's probably a good MP.
But,
I'm not surprised. It wasn't
she's-
their expenses.
Season.
She did it in this house. It wasn't even her.
Yeah, I know.
she's,
Some of her family members. Isn't it?
she's looking for a new job. What would you guys do if you weren't in your current forms of employment? What other careers would you go for if you weren't stand-up comedians?
Well, Peter's done everything. Go on. There's nothing.
What other
can't
career
do.
would you go for if you talk to a 19-year-old Pete St James? What would you say as an alternative career for this young man?
Well, when I was at school, I was head librarian.
Really?
Yeah, so
This kid lived the dream, Pete. It's like,
it was only so I didn't have to go out during breaks. I could go to the library.
Peter's the
I
only
was
one who
head librarian.
So I could have been a librarian.
What? You're the
Yeah.
only person who wants to stay in a building in a room during lunch break. The whole point of school was like, oh my God, like looking at the clock, we're going to get out. And then he's got, right, let's get to the library. Come on, let's get to another room. That's brilliant.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Quince, what would you be? What was another career for you?
I was going to say something rude then, but no, I'll probably be a. Do you know what I actually went to college for? Be a fashion designer.
Really?
I mean, like most boys want to be a footballer,
Yeah.
sports player, but I actually had a little soft spot for being a fashion
No,
designer.
really? Do you know what? I could probably see that. What was it? What, you just because you wanted like
The amount of
idea?
girls was on my
Yeah.
ankles, it was ridiculous.
I was thinking,
I was like,
he's
you-
quite creative. And then he's going, no, I just
He's like,
want
what do you want to do?
army.
Look around the clock. I want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like fashion design. I got inspired by a guy called Bruce Ofield, who
I
designed
interviewed
Diana.
this man.
You interviewed him.
yeah.
He was probably one of the first
He was
designers of colour.
Exactly. Yeah.
And he designed Princess Diana's suit, wedding dress.
No, he didn't.
Was it him?
No.
He liked it. He did it. He did it. It was him.
No, it was a couple that did it. The husband. No, it was husband and wife did it.
You sure?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to check the internet.
No, if Pete says it, you know, I must have read it wrong then.
Who was the
Because
great
he's a librarian, so he's going to read that shit up.
What would you design and what's your speciality?
My speciality would be suits. I like suits. I think if I had the money, I'll wear a suit every day.
But do you wear suits on stage? So you don't,
Sometimes, depending
really?
on the gig.
Yeah. See, I always think, I notice people like that, and I think it does make a difference.
It does, yeah.
But I always feel like, oh my God. I obviously have to wear them in corporates. You have to wear, but I always think when you're coming and doing a gig, sometimes I always think you've got to dress smart, but not too smart. Because then if you come on a bit too smart, people go, oh, look at him. Who's this guy?
I think a suit does separate you
from
the audience, and especially if you're doing like a special. I think you should make the effort.
Yeah, in theatres, 100 million %. But I remember I was doing a corporate in somewhere like near Birmingham, and it was an early one. And then, but then I was doing a comedy club straight after in Tamworth or Lichfield, somewhere up the road. And there was not enough time to change, even though I brought like my gig clothes, like just something smart casual. But so I had to go on in a suit, which was great in the corporate because everyone's you've got that instant sort of like they go, oh yeah, he's in respect. But then as soon as I went to this place in town, they're all like more in a big club, and they're all and it was just like, and to be fair, some of the ladies and the older people were more respectful and oh wow, this guy's made an effort, because obviously they compared everyone else got jeans
He's
on.
really taking it serious for £120.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah, God, he must be.
What would you say to your younger self if you went back in a time machine? Or what would you say? Another alternative form. I mean, you're doing all right, I'm sure, but if there was an alternative career.
God, what would I do? Well, similar to what Quincy was saying, I remember seeing, I used to love dancing when I was younger, but not like, you didn't think it was a job, but like where you could go to places and just mess around. And I remember seeing something recently about, Tom Holland, Dominic Holland's son, it was Tom Cruise. And for some reason I just saw a clip of this, and I've never seen Spider-Man, I wouldn't even know any of these Marvel films, but I was watching, apparently they got engaged. And there was so it was all going mental on social, and there was a clip of him, and it was such an interesting thing. It said the reason he got Spider-Man was because in his audition, he started doing backflips and that. So normally when people turn,
did he do Billy Elliot?
Yeah, he did, and that's exactly where it came from. And they said because he'd done Billy Elliot for years, and so they'd never seen anything like it. So normally when people came in for Spider-Man, 6'2", they're solid like this. He's about 5 foot whatever, 6 whatever. Comes in and starts doing backflip, flipping around, dancing, and they're going, "We've never seen anything like this." And they went, and he was in the interview saying, "Why did you want to do dancing?" Because it was when we were growing up, people go, "It's just for girls," and he went, "Because when I went to it, there was 30 odd fit women or girls, whatever, and just me as the only bloke, and it was great fun. You fit in, no one, as opposed to rugby or football. Like where we grew up, you'd play football or whatever, or boxing, and people would get battered. Whereas there, the only battered he's going to get is getting chased by 30 women or whatever. It's crazy."
There you go. There you go. Right. Well, all right. Fine. Interesting. And FYI, Bruce Alford was Diana's favourite designer did a few dresses, but not the wedding dress.
Who was it?
And we'll end on an actor story. Have you heard about this crazy story about the Brad Pitt AI?
Oh yeah. Really.
Lady in France got messaged by a
fat Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
It was a fat diabetic type 2 Brad Pitt.
He looked like a Bradley Pitt stop.
Sent him loads of lovely poets and messages and all that stuff, and poetry, and she ended up falling for him, and the rest of the story.
Oh, mental! And it was like literally, when I read about this yesterday, I was like, I thought, oh God, it was a clever scam or whatever. It was the worst scam ever. She literally, he'd emailed her and said, "I'm Brad Pitt," and then she said, "Prove it," and he sent a picture of a bad AI Brad Pitt in hospital, pretending that this was him. The Brad Pitt in hospital's got 7 fingers on each hand because it's AI. He's got his head, as you said, his head was like a melon, and it's like literally you could see like out the drawings.
It was so bad.
Literally, it was so bad. And then she gave him. I think it was nearly £700,000 because Brad Pitt was saying to her, I haven't got any money, I can't afford to pay for this medical fee because I'm in a divorce. I'm like, he's Brad Pitt, love. If he can't afford it, what are you meant to, how can we?
Because his ex-wife had cancelled his accounts or something.
Oh,
that's right, yeah.
Locked his money.
Oh yeah, like that happens. Like, he's only got like £360 million locked up in one account. It's like, they don't have 72 credit cards.
How much did she lose in the end? Do you know?
About 700 grand, wasn't it? Or 600 grand?
A pretty number. a pretty number. How come I can't meet them girls? But do you know what is really the biggest story? Did you see the footage of? Do you know, like sometimes you're in shops and you might get like a rodent. People see rodents and stuff like that. Yeah. Did you see the one in America where they basically pulled out? There was the two guys and they were poking in the cold section.
There was
and they pulled out
in a shop.
Was it Aldi? Yeah. So basically, you see these two guys. One of them was clearly dedicated to the job, and he was poking in the cold section.
And you think it's going to be a little mouse.
I'm thinking like a rat's going to come out, like a big rat or something like that, or a badger or something. Yeah. Coyote.
What? Like a big coyote?
Grown coyote.
Yeah. Oh my God, like the Roadrunner. Like the
coyote. It was massive. Yeah. And he pulled it out by the towel. And the other security guy who was with him, like, didn't see him in the next shop.
Yeah.
He's just like, mate, I'm on the own I'm on minimum wage. And I came paid a lot for this. And the coyote was in there, like, he looked to the geezer like to say, mate, don't you know we're in Australia? It's fucking hot in the outback. I'm in the cooler for a reason. Pulled out a coyote. That's how dedicated you are to your job.
And what did they do then? Did the coyote
just bounced. Went to the freezer section.
Yeah. Got a meal deal and just left.
There you go. That's our lot. Or as I always say, stick to Dubai chocolate is what instead of.
How much was the Dubai chocolate? We never got to the price.
Yeah, how much was it?
It's too much.
Because actually, Dish went and bought some. That just shows how much money he's on. That is crazy.
How much I am influenced by TikTok, which will be banned. Right, guys, say goodbye. We shall be back next episode. This show is sponsored by TikTok.
By TikTok?
By T&K.
By the 19th of January.
Yeah.
By T&K Medical. Say goodbye, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you later. Cheers. Bye-bye.